All right, first up on the mic, we have Carrie. Are you here? Give it up for Carrie. On deck, we have Shruti. Go ahead and get ready to come on next.
Right here. Hi, I'm Carrie. This is what I like to call my 9/11 poem because it's based on a picture of me crying in front of the Twin Towers when I was a baby. So I don't know how old I look, but yes, I was born before 9/11. But the real title is Photograph of Three Generations on a Family Trip, June 17th, 2000. I'm that baby butterball on a city tour boat, bawling inconsolably because the engine is buzzing too loud below as it churns the Hudson into choppy turbulence. In the background, the Twin Towers rise titanic, two chopsticks piercing the big bowl of gray sky. Spliced, the flashback looks like I'm laughing, nose scrunched, crinkle eyes half shut. Can you ever hash the difference between hysterical and hysterics? Left of me, West Tower sprouts its unicorn horn from my grandfather's head. A retired nurse, known for his shadowing stature and latent tempers over another ocean, in these waters he's mythical and wingless. Resting a palm over the crux of his elbow, my mother straps me, finicky frantic, to her chest. As she stares through her glasses lenses to the cameras, I'm crying out for freedom and foresight. Herein that obscura, her wrist a life vest or stranglehold, prep for the future sweats and firebred temperaments of years ahead when she, spoon-fed suburbia's assembly line rhetoric, would stretch me, skin split and flayed flat for sale, into a straitjacket. My infant fingers fumble at her gilt watch, hand over hands over arm over hand, like moth wings beating at candlelight. Even then, I was on a crusade to destroy time. The last time my mother saw her father, his organs melting like wax drippings into a hospital stretcher, was through cracked phone glass. A gallery of screenshots freezes his strained breath into ice sculptures. Remembrance Museum servicing shuttered borders and shattered bones. The Pacific, flattened into a disc, squeezed its last drops from her salt-rimmed eyelids. When death pixelates, its only proof is the air sitting heavier in your hands. When the first plane hit, I was crying in my crib, most likely. School kids cackled blithely at a drunken pilot's presumed folly. The second plane hit like a fire brigade, extinguishing what you thought was dramatic irony, forgetting you too live on a stage. I can't forget what I was too young to recollect, so I try introjection. Contort my face into a mourner's mask to mime that historical horror. The guttural grief, not unfamiliar. I summoned the early spring shell shock that split my senses when 6 Asian women and 1 Asian man were gunned down from massage parlor to spa, so a porn addict xenophobe could pleasure his power puritanical by massacre. Just 15 miles down Buford, my mother learned righteous rage from behind the bolted doors of our family home. In my dreams, their bullet wounds become pinholes, point and shoot. Blood coagulates into my grandfather's perforated face. Double exposure. That was March 2021, 1 month after his body became ash, his mind intact until the moment of collapse. Years passed, I can't forget about that. Instead, I rehearse tragicomedies in the mirror, twinge the grimace into a grin, fear steeps bitter in hushed sounds and defenses, rustle in bushes, hot lump and throat back. I blow at its surface till it cools into a joke. How else to get by without dissolving like a sugar cube in your inheritance of drugs? I used to keep a photo album of crying selfies, chuckle at my own costs. Now, the meds keep me hard-nosed and dry-eyed, or otherwise keeling over with rip-tide laughter. Knees slap and belly ache till my irises run red like twin watercolor sunsets. Before riding the train downtown, barreling between skyscrapers built atop a flame-scarred urban grid, I have to put out the joint I'm puffing for the giggles. Fall into concrete, that glowing ember still breathes out, smoke sailing like age-old spirits into the clouds. Thank you. And this poem is on my Substack at Carrie G. Wong. Last name spelled W-A-N-G if you're interested. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right. Thank you so much, Carrie. Give it one more round of applause, please. And if you have a blanket to share, make a friend. Turn to your neighbor, say, come sit by me. I would love you to come join me on my blanket. If you are standing, come join a friend. Can I sit on your blanket? Scoot on over. Just scooch over a little bit. We all friends here. Nice. I love to see it. All right. Up next. Oh, we have Gabby joining us here, our interpreter as well. Nice to have you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, up on the mic we have Shruti. Where you at? Where you at? And on deck we have Blake coming up next. So get ready, please.
Hi everyone, my name is Shruti Kongasheri, and this is my first year back in the US, so this poem is kind of like about that. Okay, Rat Pink. And I'm baby smooth, freshly molted, half skin left somewhere scattered continents behind. The first shedding was before the 46 kg weight limit. The second during a breakdown in the aeroplane bathroom from DXB to ORD, Indian Standard Time, long gone. Time to let 50% of old skin shrivel through the commode hole, IRCTC style, littering the Atlantic. Later, losing skin when the plumber says, I don't understand you. I am speaking perfect English, and he is wearing a Hunters for Trump t-shirt. Losing skin when I don't give a shit about football, pigskin, whatever. Losing skin when every intersection seems to have two stoplights on the same side, two lights on every telephone tower boring into me from above against the blackest blue night sky I've ever seen. The last layers of familiar skin are peeling off the back of my body and waving in translucent air like dandruff that is spider web, reaching for a steady beam and drooping in the event of none. Regretting baby smooth, trying to recreate my room from some home with $30 in my pocket, resisting converting dollars to rupees, caving on a ukulele, salve on super pink skin, thinking of how the first song I learned to play was Lana's Fuck It, I Love You, how she wasn't wrong when she said, it turns out everywhere you go, you take yourself, and that's not a lie. And who am I to refute Lana? To think baby smooth wouldn't scar in ice climbs, that frostbite wouldn't creep into this Dravidian blood, that the pear net crisscross of new skin making its way over my legs, my body, as I stand in this polite laughter, wine in hand, one of three people of color room would be so hard to notice as I entreat myself to grow at least an epidermis, as I pray for no scar tissue thickness, while I hope instead for calluses. Thank you.
You give it up for Shruti. All right. Thanks so much, y'all. We're growing. If y'all see across the lawn, thanks for y'all for joining us. As a reminder, if anybody would like to sign up for the open mic, you can do so right over at this bench as we continue to keep it moving. Y'all are doing such a great job giving energy to everybody. So on deck is Zavi, but coming up right now, please give it up for Blake. Woo. Energy till they get up here.
How's it going, y'all? You can hear me? Okay, cool. So my name's Blake. I wrote this. I feel like this is not such a unique story at this point, but I had to move back home during the pandemic. And I wrote this like a week before that period ended, kind of as a reclaiming that period of time type of thing. So yeah, it is called Mom's Basement. I wrote this in my mom's basement 1 week before a new chapter. Wanted to remember this state of mind for everything I do after. In this room I've lost and found myself so many times I lost count. It's where self-doubt manifested and first began to mount. The place where I ran when the world had nothing else to give. It's where I spent some of my best nights and some I didn't want to live. And while another round of staying here was never in the plans, when I look back, it's where I'll say I learned just who I am. See, going back to your roots grounds you in a way that lets you leave again, but not as who you were, as a version that can breathe again, that can recognize the beauty in this life and really breathe it in. Turn your ego down and let go of any need to win. I see it as a rite of passage and I wear that shit with pride. 2020 was a gauntlet and I looked it in its eyes. Spent time looking in the same mirrors that watched young me take flight. I faced obstacles, drank tropicals, and put some goals up out of spite. I got comfy with my demons, you could even call us friends. Hope the doubters got some rest, cause now I'm back for my revenge. And if this poem doesn't do shit but cleanse my soul of this weight, through all the trials and tribulations, I've always believed in fate. And knowing that I maintain that through everything life threw at me will carry me with confidence until death finally does snatch me. So this is for anyone who's had to go back to square one because of COVID, because of capitalism, or because of something you've done. Back home is the perfect place to recalibrate your soul, and I know that stagnation undoubtedly took its toll. But do you feel how much closer you are now to who you've always been? The way you feel like you fit just a little bit better in your skin? That came from the type of soul searching for which there's no replacement. The type that only comes from mom's basement.
All right, up on the mic is Zabi, and up next on deck is Kat. So go ahead and get ready, please. If you would like to sign up, the board is up here on the bench. Thank you.
So it's Puerto Rican month, and actually the anniversary of the 1966 and 1977 uprisings on Division Street. And so this poem is in that honor. Viva Puerto Rico Libre! The Ghetto Brothers. Barrio kids in the Leviathan singing atop catacombs of death and regurgitation, singing of a famed tropical paradise. Imprisoned by demonic imperium, and since they were the ones to be forced to be born in the depths of malediction, the murderous of monstrosities, of modernities, manipulations, and not in sweet Borinquen, which is also a land of genocide molded by insolent hands with this tres razas multicultural representation, pero mostly blanquito colonial bourgeoisie, gripping fanatically onto the gringo banner of death, 50 stars imploding in the impending explosion of neo-fascist spawn. Viva Puerto Rico Libre. Puerto Rican kids, Chicago Boricua kids, Puerto Rican diaspora kids sometimes get brief mention in commercialized commerce for liberal liberation, how to be free, workbooks, handbooks, guidebooks, travelogues for the self-consciously curious cannibal citizenry, to admonish the guilt of living in an empire that not only kills my people and pollutes this land, but snuffs out the voices of exiles, refugee adventure seekers, architects of new homelands, and children of allá afuera, la Wawa area de tra. Excess population to buy time for the criollo elite sandbox games of, but I am a legitimate government. Viva Puerto Rico Libre. One state, two state, how about no state? But what do I know? I never really lived in Puerto Rico. I only cry for Puerto Rico. Don't cry for me, estamos bien Puerto Rico. I'm mulatito, triganito, tierra adentro, mar afuera, belong nowhere, everywhere. I like Bada, 4 roads, all corners, ancestors from across the globe, escaping, remaking on and beyond the planet of the sea. A New Rican, Chicago Boricua, diaspora Puerto Rican, may be lost, may be found, may be bound to empire, but I will always be singing the question, would Puerto Rico's liberation mean us too? Thank you.
All right. Great job, y'all. So, this is going to be embarrassing. Explain how I use the mic and I'm doing it wrong. So, just because we are trying to let the message spread as far as possible, a little quick tutorial on how to use the mic, right? You go just like this. It kind of works, actually, right? We're down here. We can't, some people in the back can't hear you. The front row is living. They're doing great. But in the back row, they can't hear you. So you want to go right here. Again, cuts out your phone. Now, I don't know what's happening. Okay. Separate from from the cutting out. Or right here. This is so embarrassing. Okay, so we're gonna hope for the best with our situation and keep the joy and the poetry moving right along. I believe it's Kat. Yes. All right. Awesome. Who's on deck? Well, it's all right. We got people signing up, but can we please give to Kat? Where's Kat? Stage.
Everybody, can you hear me okay? So I have a in case it cuts. But hi, I'm Kat, poet. I wrote this. This is actually for my second collection that's coming out in January, so I really wanted to read it. Thank you. Thank you. This poem is for my younger self. One. I have different eras of my younger self, and each have a different stage, a different meaning. Old self. This is called 5. The soul unlatched its hidden scaffolding. The ribs that shaped the hollow of my Gothic armor collapsed, all but for a small child. Green eyes watching green eyes, she looks at me with wonder as I return her gaze with inevitable tears. She does not know it yet, but she will die. Her youthful heart beats to crickets and fireflies, bare feet blessing the grass, chin tilted towards a reckless sky. I watch her from the edge of memory as she lays the first of many stones in the dirt. Beneath a ceiling already cracking. This child whispers her loneliness into the bark and bone of an oak and sings songs with the garden snake. No, she will taste ash and one day. I try to speak, but the universe keeps me silent. For she must become the pillars. She must carry the chapel in her bones. Oh, how I wish I could tell her that she is strong. She does not know it yet, but she will die. And as I watch her dance barefoot and brazen, I know I will soon find her dancing in the stained glass.
All right, thank you, Kat. Beautiful, beautiful. Up next, we have Declan Hale, and on deck we have Gracie. Declan, where you at? All right, give it up for Declan, please. Thank you for doing your best with the mic. Nice and loud.
Hello, everybody. I'm Declan Hale. First time doing an open mic in Chicago. Love it out here. Yay for Chicago. I'll try and speak my loudest in case the microphone cuts out. This one is called Apathy is a Desert. Everyone likes to feel good things, right? But what's your least favorite emotion? Is it sadness? To feel the weight of the ocean fall from your eyes in an unstoppable motion, and you're left with your cries to pick up off the floor? You know you have to hide them before somebody comes through that door. Is it anger? To feel it bubbling in your chest, heat rising above, face turning red, magma forming on your tongue till you erupt in the end, lava spewing out your gums, and you hope you haven't burnt your victim too much. Or maybe it's anxiety. To be piously living on the outside, trying to envision what's in their mind. Dying, it's not hard to find. Heart racing like a cheetah, sprinting faster than it needs to, hoping you would know if you deserve anything kind. Nay, I say, it's apathy. Apathy is the desert. Look from left to right. Bleached sand is all you see. It's almost blinding in this light, so you look up for some relief, but even way up high, there's no clouds or no breeze, just a punishing blue backdrop, no end to be seen. In the horizon they merge, sand and sky alike. It's impossible to determine the blue from the white. It all just converges, your eyes start to blur, and each grain of sand cannot be uniquely discerned, and the ground turns bluer, the sky whiter. The sun above stops making things brighter until it's like a filter, blurring all in their reach, stripping the emotions from all that you see. What do you see? When you go outside on a beautiful day and ask yourself why it all looks so gray, smells so gray, tastes so gray. Sun is warm, flowers beginning to form, but you can't help but look astray. When laughing feels the same as wasting away, or there's no difference between kissing and missing, or quality time with loved ones and stressors making you undone, it all starts to feel the same. So you search for those emotions that elude your thirst, Happiness first, to feel free, paint a tree, hell, whatever works. Make the long trip and find in a church, or take what that guru said would keep you perked. Take 100 milligrams or screw it, go for 3. At least that way you'll be able to get some sleep. Won't have to stay awake, wishing you didn't have to be, obsessing over stressing on this filter coalescing inside your mind, so you have to find more, different, find a way to snap it. Get your answer, wrap it, tap it, stick it and be lifted, but only for a minute. When you crash on the feeling that you have none at all, and you feel the steel in between your fingers, eyes red and bloated, gentle pressure on the trigger, lock point and loaded, metal to the temple, hoping you'll fold before you go mental just to feel something. But you do feel something. Your throat, it feels dry. Apathy is the desert, no sign of water. So you keep on walking, farther and farther. It's not emotions that drive you, but knowledge that garners the strength for your feet not to falter as you walk towards the altar that has all the answers. Avoid the snakes and scorpions hunting. Keep on pushing and grunting, because in the end, there will be something. There has to be something. Thank you.
All right, y'all. I don't know if you noticed, but that entire poem, it never cut out. So we're going to do exactly what Declan did from now on, okay? It's called the Declan method. Your hand doesn't move, and it's at a 90-degree, I don't know math. I think that's, no, 70, whatever. It's at an angle from your face. It's not cutting out this whole time. Wow, thank you. Okay, great. So we're right here, strong hand, and just at an angle from your mouth. Wow, we're great. We're learning as we go. Community vibes, you get it. All right, so please, on deck is Emily, but please give it up, all your energy for Gracie.
Can you hear me? Okay, cool. I'm Gracie. My friend Emily and I challenged ourselves to write a poem after the last reading we went to last month. So this one is called No I, We, You, after Ursula K. Le Guin. The 2x4 is warped but can see the future, part of something bigger than itself. A greater calling as a porch furniture, it joined a bench on a deck. Years ago, it had seen a man hinging hips backwards at the speed of light, and so it bowed comfortably, rocking but stabilizing to support him, just at the last moment. The 2x4 knows what it is like to be further from its ancestors than one of them. Immortalized in what some might call 2x4 lives as itself. Humans, like hummingbirds to the bench, are cohabitators, with whom time is a shared language. Look closely at the wood furniture, its starved vessels a puzzle, and imagine what it sees, your life flash in an instant. What wonder it is to be outlived by the ranks of elements, moving among animals' hurried lives like welders, builders, and electricians. It's been a pleasure to hear from a 2x4. How grateful I am, in a poem without you, we, me. Thank you.
All right. Okay, actually, you know, it's really brave to come up here and read a poem. And I know some of us just got here, so maybe you missed Noel's lesson. But give everybody some reactions, right? Give them some snaps, give them some, wow, that was good. Even if it's a line that you probably didn't even hear the whole thing, just give them a, right? Let them know you are here and you are listening and that you see them. Give them a little nod, right? It's a big thing to come up here and share a poem in front of everybody, especially people that you don't know. So thank you to all who have done it so far. I'm all warmed up now, so from now on, if y'all not making noise, I am. Don't get irritated, okay? Up next on the mic, we have Tom, and on deck we have Ash. Is Tom here? All right, Tom, give it up for Tom. Claps. Yes, Tom, yes.
And I just completed this poem last week, so you are among the first 20 people to hear it. I hope you can hear me. Breath after. Your garden thrives. I never thought it would without your mindful tending. You told me repeatedly, once you were gone, the green would wither to yellow, then brown, then dust. How could you know your breath remains, keeping them lush? Despite your warnings, the ferns bat their eyelashes. The pathos and M-tree prosper, breathing positive energy. Only the croton weeps, its leaves missing you. Thank you.
All right. Give it up for first time open mic ever. Let's go. All right. Yeah. So I'm so sorry, but Emily, you're gonna come up now. On deck again is Ash, but please give all your energy for Emily.
My hypothesis is that it works a lot better closer to this.
Oh.
So we'll see. I'm on this side. I'm Gracie's friend Emily, responding to the challenge. This is a real freshie. What is unbeautiful? And can it be set aside for now? Now, over and over? Will it accumulate into a beautiful life? Or can it be true that all this order, just an arbitrary splash in the chaos swirl? Dissolution, dissolution, dissolution. I can say to myself to pass the time.
All right, and now up we have Ash. Are you ready, Ash? And on deck we have Sanaya. But for now, give it up for Ash, please.
Hi, I feel like this is right. Yeah. I have two poems, and I would like you guys to just scream out either the number 1 or 2 for which one I perform. Ready?
2, 1.
Okay, I heard 2. I'm sorry. I release ownership from this plane of the physical. I release the tether of my energy like a feather burning in a forest. I do not own my own perception. Rules of colonizing polluters target my light, just like they did my ancestors. We are still released from ownership. I've never felt the leather of a whip, or my child being stripped from my arms, or being raped for profit, or. I hope to never own those physical possessions that linger in our black breath. I do not own your feelings or honesty. I do not own your made-up his story that placed you upon a melting throne. My power fibers no use of criticallessness fluff from you. I release ownership. I do not own. I do not want the ownership of fruitless mass-produced popularity. I do not condone the tampering of molds you crack and scorn for delusional moral authority. I do not own worth. I do not own the absence of value. I do not own excellence. I release ownership. I do not own the absence of ability. Excellence owns me. I do not own love. I do not own perfectionists' haunting torment of taunt. I do not own the need to be good enough. Love owns me. I am not owned by marketability of the capital crime nation. Bear witness to this rendition of all my control and lack of hold. I do not see freedom in we shackled to industry. I do not own the key. It is in the deep of martyrdom creek we leak our shame of fear near. Hate condones me. Hate fetched my fate like the toddler me running to grab the last cookie from the pantry and seeing it gone. I must be better than me to succeed towards my destiny. I have to be better than we, my collective humanity. I have to be in order to bury my parents respectfully. Grief owns me and sells thee on a platter that lights and cameras for dinner that lights up cameras for dinner. You and me, the ones who agree to disagree. I release the need to be seen. I release the need to be seen in success from people similar or different to me. I release ownership. We owe you nothing. We release being entertainment. We release being just a share of care. I'm going so fast. We release expectations starving power. I release being afraid. I do not own your judgments of political sanity. I do not own a body of just peace. We lie to ourselves. This is the truth. I release ownership of educational serfdom. The lords of university have gentrified and stripped culture from land, and we students worship the illusion of network. While our past's malice claims names of fractured futures, lineages in flames, total calamity of injustice we paid our part in. We passport documented fever nightmare of American hypnosis. We branded algorithmic hymns of distractions. We release authority of passing this portal on the brink of collapse to the next generations of life. Nobody owns me because I am not a slave to time or space, like how people pace for a compliment race. There's more, but thank you.
Thank you. Give it up one more time for Ash. All right. Moving right along on deck, we have Aiden, but right now give it up for Sanaya.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay. This is called stationary. Positioning momentarily, allowing myself to grieve, to be still, to breathe, to be aloe, slick, thick, and viscous, to seek solitude that has yet to exist within me. The stillness in which lies in between my legs. Between my legs is power, even the Lord says. Between my legs brings life, between legs. The stone walls that lie in my head are glaring reminders that no matter how hard I try, there will always be a demon that lurks, that eats, that dwells inside. There will always be a disease that lurks. And you know, that kind of hurts. That kind of hurts my feelings. And it looks for an out. A wall to scrape, a head to bang, a nail to chew, an arm to break, a moment just to feel some pain. But those moments of freedom aren't offered to people like us. Those moments of freedom aren't granted to people like us. Those moments of freedom aren't promised to people like us. We have to take it. We have to lie in it, wade in it, bathe in it, soak in it, trust in the unknown that could be God, or the universe, or an even worse thought, ourselves. We have to depend on things that we can't see to show us everything, things we can't feel to feel anything, things we can't hear to hear the voice of God, or even worse, ourselves. And even then, can we say wholeheartedly that those are facts? Tangible, solid, steadfast facts? Even then, can we look up to the stars, find ourselves there, find ourselves floating in the air, find ourselves everywhere? Even then, I declare, even then can I say I'm whole,
Yes.
holy, worthy, wise enough, black enough, queer enough, smart enough, just fucking enough. For what though? It's all in vain, in spiritual and subconscious vein, unable to acknowledge what lies within me, a giving vessel who desires not to receive or recurve or recover or relive or regret, but to give. Give life, give sovereignty, give sobriety, give lovingly, give spiritually, give wholly. Because who am I? Who am I actually, if not love? Who am I without peace? Who am I without carving a chunk of myself and serving it medium rare on a platter of herb de Provence? A fraud, a fucking fraud. I give and give and give and give, and you know what? I will give some more, because that's who I am, and that's all I'll ever be.
Thank you, Sanaya. Thank you, thank you. All right, up next. Hey, you know what? We didn't even say. Oh, me and Noel, we so rude. It's Pride Month. We Happy Pride, guys! Everybody say. Woo! Oh wait, and it's Juneteenth, so shout out to all the black folks. Woo! Bow, bow, bow. Okay. Anyways, moving on. Up next, we have Aiden, and on deck we have Soul. Aiden, come on down and give him a round of applause, please. Louder, please. Yay! There we go.
Can everybody hear? Perfect. Last time I was here, I had read a piece from a show that was upcoming that I didn't have a name for. This time, I'm going to read from that same show that's now titled Heat Signature. It's coming up in August, and this piece is titled Fruit Salad or The Pursuit of Cosmic Order. I come to you, not as a collection of thoughts or a mouthful of wants and needs, but as a man, for better or for worse. And when the door opens, when I see your tepid glare, I feel a tightness in my throat once more. We are two mountains, petrified and seemingly dormant from the ice age of language. I stumble for the first words to break this trance, and all that comes to mind is a flurry of, I'm here, I'm sorry, I know it's been too long, and you just tell me to breathe. And for the first time, I'm aware of just how much I missed your voice. Even the bitter words spoken in that sacred chord are a pleasure to hear. And when there is no space left for wasted words to fly to, you leave the door open, entering your flat, and I follow. The TV volume is low. A reporter murmurs out tomorrow's tragedies to what you walk past, to what you take no mind nor notice to my entrance. You just go back to finishing off this morning's fruit salad, living in a world with no absolutes. I stand in the threshold, observing your leisured hands as they glide through strawberries, mangoes, something dark and sweet. As the TV keeps talking to no one in this room, we stay this way. You finishing, me watching, until your finger circles the rim of the bowl. And you turn and look at me as you have many times before, awaiting, and the distance between the kitchen counter and where I stand gets slimmer and slimmer and slimmer and slimmer. And then your hands brand the back of my neck with a strawberry stain, and I find the breath I've been stumbling towards for 2 weeks now, and the TV keeps reporting disaster, and neither of us is listening. I am so fucking scared, but I love you. The salad bowl crashes to the floor, and the blinded flurry of limbs and lungs. My fingers trace along the hem of your soft cotton shorts. Your breath is morphing slowly within my collarbone as mine answers it. Hands learning the geography of what has been lost, the weight of you against me, the heat that has been floating in my matter across the ages, right here in your kitchen. You pull me back, just enough to look at me, and whatever you find there is enough to come back closer. In no time, the kitchen becomes the hallway, becomes your bedroom, a trail of second skin shed, markers of the distance traveled. And as I press my hands into your stomach, we are taken away from it all. Somewhere before I knew you, you sit in the arms of a mangrove at an hour where the dawn has not yet committed to itself. The light falls through the canopy in soft fragments, each one landing differently on the waters below. You are watching, feet hanging above the darkness. The herons don't notice you. There is no one waiting to call you home. You are resting in a state of primordial bliss, unbothered by the pond apples you've learned to avoid the taste of, too bitter for your liking. And we are back, and your mouth is on my sternum, feasting away at my sweat, and I am somewhere in the green, and the loud with the buzzing of the invasive wasp, a creek hidden from the rest of the summer camp by a wall of trees. The mouth of a boy I shared a cabin with finds mines beside us, the pit of a plum he's stolen from lunch, my favorite. I've yet to know what this is.
I don't know what to call it. Only that the water is cold around my sinking ankles and something in my chest opens like a window I didn't know had been painted shut by the hands of an invisible landlord. For half of this life, I've been scared to open it again, to truly step outside just to find that there isn't a heaven high enough to hold the desires sprouted deeply in my mind. See, I told you, there are no absolutes. Thank you. Happy Pride.
Thank you. All right. Y'all, it was raining before we started, but now look, the sun is out. Can we clap it up for y'all for being here, for celebrating poetry? Coming up right now, please give all your energy to Soul. Soul. Y'all, okay, you get it. All right.
Hi everyone, my name is Sol, and I'm going to be sharing this piece that's called An Act of Defiance that has some Spanish. My bad if you don't understand, and to let to let you know. Oh, thank you. Okay, bet. Right. An Act of Defiance. I wear my hoops on Saturdays dancing with the broom as my partner, sweeping away todo el malo. I wear my hoops on Mondays in the workplace cubicle, 4x4 walls funding the 5 to 9 visual. I wear my hoops on the sofa, hugging mama, binging novelas. I wear my hoops en la cocina, concha in hand con abuelita. I wear my hoops in la tienda, cart full of chiles and cervezas. I wear my hoops to the lavanderia, community cleaning mis camisas. I wear my hoops in mi carcacha, blasting el conejo y bachata. I wear my hoops waving hi to my neighbors, sipping mi raspado, giving thanks to the vendor. I wear my hoops chismeando con mi tía, walking the block con mi sobrina, laughing con mis hermanos, taking money from our tíos, ir de fiesta con mis chicas, singing about our 20-something sonrisas. I wear hoops bigger than my heart because them alone is a brown girl's art. I wear my hoops with honey skin, brown lips, braided hair, stunting flannel drip a Chicana always serves. I wear them when the sun stretches and hugs the sky. Let her rays reflect through these curves of mine. But most importantly, I wear them at night, in bed, curled in comfort, where not even the stars can penetrate through the covers. For even when there are no eyes to bestow, these circles swelged and forged carry every voice, every person, every story, every home. You make a spectacle to displace the geometrical and expect the physical to lose the spiritual. But what is woven in these genomes transcends through precious gold. So mis mariposas rest proudly on my shoulders wherever I go. Thank you. No one has been sharing their social media handles. I think one person shared their Substacks, and I love how everyone is like, I love your writing, and I really want to connect with y'all. So I'm gonna share my social media handle. So mine is SOLL.RUBYY on Instagram. SOLL.RUBYY. Okay. Oh, thank you.
All right, all right. We've got a wonderful, wonderful evening of poetry. We are up on our last two poets, unfortunately, because at 7 on the dot, we are moving inside for the featured readings that we have scheduled for tonight. So our last two up on the mic, up first is Mario, and then our last poet of tonight will be Melik. All right, Mario, you up? Give it up for Mario, please.
Thank you. I just flew in today because I'll be here for two months, so I'm happy I was able to make it. To continue on the theme, mine's also half English and half Spanish. It's called Somos. Somos el agua que se cae de tus ojos brillosos, que limpia los pecados del día. When you return, we are the water that fills your cup and overflows friendship, transforms. Somos el agua que te recuerda que el desempeño no podría mantener tu alma entera y que necesitas como necesitas el aire. When your spirit is fading, we are the water that quenches thirst of you, my friends, and all those from the earth. Somos el agua que te calma y igual que destruye when the world's been run by demons. We are the water that can press reset. We've flooded before and we'll do it again. Yo sé, somos el agua que vive en tu mezcal, que vive en tu taza de té. When you've learned that exhaustion can't earn belonging, we are the water from time immemorial, from which people blossomed, but seeds need replanting. Soy agua y no me aguanto. Somos Atel que te llevará a Tlalocan. Thanks.
Thank you. All right, y'all, quick plug. If you enjoyed yourself, you enjoyed this, every single Monday this summer, CPC is hosting an open mic called Poetry on the Green, hosted by our poet in residence, Joy, as well as Timothy, who's not here. But if you want to go every single Monday in the West Loop, we are so sorry we got to cut it short right now. But just please, 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 I implore you, if you heard something that meant something to you, if it really affected you, if somebody's piece really, really hit you in the stomach, in the heart, please tell them, right? This is so hard to come up here and do this work. It's so hard to write and to try to express ourselves. Please let them know how much that piece meant to y'all. All right, please give all your energy for our last poet of the open mic.
My name is Melik. We're doing a poem called 1001 Layers of Assimilation. I like to bake and write poetry. You'll see that reflected in the piece, and I hope you like it. Yajin, gild my breath in flames to flambe French pastry chefs, colonizers who butcher the divinity of my name, yet I, radiant noble king, am to fold my tongue to trill and tumble over the holy trinity of viennoiserie, détrompe, bourrage, pétant. Détrompe, vapid dough, bereft of butter will not rise, yet my mother's pita, fed by tributaries of olive oil, puffs soft. For too long, I missed the forest for the Christmas trees. That house, my mother points, incinerated, stripped of structure by those string lights you yearn to adore on a tree severed from its roots, orphaned from Mother Earth olives and almonds, afforested by eucalyptus and stone pine. Bourrage, lessons in pliability, subjecting myself to the milquetoast morbidity of a Halstedian milieu. It's quite nuanced, you see. The lynx diamond and the rough fetishists will go to deny our humanity whilst fantasizing about our anatomy. Nice beard, nice kicks, nice kufia. You like arafat? Such a nice boy. This is such a safe space. Our experiences are so universal. You shouldn't be afraid. I was. Not here, not then. Such a nice boy, stopped at a checkpoint, guns cocked tight against hips, gifted by you, yes you, practically, metaphorically, existentially, me. I spoke to those soldiers in Arabic, broken by proximity to empire, a crude emulsion with grade A large white eggs. Mayo. Spread on the shitty white French rolls they stuffed down their gullets. Yajin, a wish in retrospect. I hope they choke on the bullets they fire at my kin. What would you have done if you were born in Palestine, though? A retort in retrospect. I'd bless my comrades, cum lovers alike, with the sensational flavors of my pastry favors. Sister, these Westerners are no better than Schrodinger's cat. Tamed pets purring, singing, imagining. Liberté, égalité, fraternité. Casting aspersions like skipping stones across the sea, rippling projections, a distorted mirror reflecting what you perceive to be our culture's reality. Sister, it's time you realize a part of their world has become a part of our own. Patent, the lock upon my jaw sealed shut by rust, tangled in bearded overgrowth. As I cut lines to clean my profile, the trimmer's buzz carries the specter of my brother's raw disdain. That's women's work. A few drops of oil to lubricate so I can speak again, yet I can't trust my voice, hoarse from disuse. The wall before my eyes scores my father's countryside scar of volatile expansion from my jaw, unhinged, you people. My cousin's mouth agape, bewildered, and my periphery bereaved of kinship. Yajin, I wish. Thank you.